What's good? It's Stormybman, and I'm back with another Stormybman's Reacts video. This time is the focus on The Flash, which was released today, June 16th, 2023, and it stars Ezra Miller in the title role of the comic character who was made famous for his speed in DC Comics. This character was introduced in the Justice League film, where we had a chance to see him along the sides of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and even Aquaman and Cyborg. The character of Barry Allen is a character who is troubled by his past. In a situation similar to Bruce Wayne, he lost his mom as a young kid, and his dad was actually jailed for her death. And he had spent years with conflict trying to prove the innocence of his dad. But as this story picks up, it shows Barry, who has settled into his abilities after his introduction through the Justice League. We see him coming out of Central City, which is not far from Metropolis or even Gotham, at least not according to the Flash, because he can travel back and forth so quickly. But it opens up with him assisting Batman and Wonder Woman in a bank robbery gone wrong. From there, Barry decides to use his speed and go back in time and revisit his childhood home. And it brings back the sad situation of his loss of his parents. The film gives us a little bit of insight as to what Barry's powers truly are, which include not only just being able to travel through time with his speed and reverse time, but he can also penetrate through walls and different structures by vibrating the atoms and separating them in his body to a degree that he can just walk through a substance as if, he's an invisible man or something. A lot of his abilities I don't quite understand, and the film didn't take a lot of time to explain them. But sometimes when you see what he's able to do, you realize, oh, this is what it's about. Now, there's a moment in the film where he meets his younger self, and then they come interacting with one another, and that begins the true story here, because he's trying to enlist the assistance of his younger self to get something done, and that is to go back in time to stop the death of his mom. Now, the understanding here is that when you cross paths with yourself in time, you create some type of ripple in history or what have you, and that's where the film takes off. We even go back in time and we see where, through Barry crossing the universes, he's encountering General Zod from Man of Steel, and Zod's invasion of the planet Earth, looking for a Kryptonian and trying to figure out how he's going to make the Earth his new Krypton. Barry tries to enlist the assistance of Batman to help him with this situation. Wonder Woman's not available, but when he finally comes across Batman, it's not how he thought it was going to be. And that's where the story really takes a turn, because we realize that he is now dealing with subjects from different points in time. Not only that, but also dealing with different universes in time. Like in one universe, Batman may be one way. In another universe, he may be older. In another universe still, it may be another unfamiliar face. the same with the other Justice League characters. Some of them don't exist, some of them do. But some of them are male, some of them are female. The whole situation takes a turn, and Barry, the way that they go through time, the way that they cross multiverses, it's not really explained, but it's a visual wonder. And as we see these situations, we even see strange cameos by various actors who were either supposed to play DC characters in the past or are presently scheduled to play DC characters, or they may have been in a TV show. I am not going to be spoilery and tell you who the cameos are here. You have to see the film for yourself. But as I saw what they've done with Barry and his costume, it looks pretty cool. There are a lot of jokes about the costume and how it fits. There's a take on Batman and his assortment of costumes, which young Flash decides to turn one of Batman's former costumes into a new Flash suit, which is pretty cool and funny. But all in all, the film really picks up once they cross the Kryptonian that they thought that they were looking for, and it turned out to be Kara Jor-El, which is Kal-El's cousin, not Kal-El. And when they find out that Supergirl is the Kryptonian that they'll need help from, initially she doesn't want to help them out. And for other reasons, they are stalled out at a stalemate to figure out how they're going to defeat General Zod. Now, Supergirl, I had heard about her character being introduced in this film, is played by Sasha Calle, and she does a great job as the character. She has a very serious look about herself, which is kind of like along the lines of Henry Cavill's Kal-El. I would like to see more of her in the future. She seemed to handle the role very well. The way that she carried herself as a Kryptonian, being able to be superpowered. There are some circumstances that arise that do show her weaknesses, sometimes to the degree of too much, and I thought that was a little bit of overkill. But overall, she did a very good job in her role, and hopefully she'll come back in the future along with Henry Cavill to play this character some more. The Flash film shows that there is a connection with the other characters of the Justice League, and Barry Allen is young enough and still a character that can handle things on his own, but he does seem to work better in unison with other characters. Will we see these characters again? Who knows? With how Warner Brothers DC has gone and the changes that they've made, it's difficult to say what'll be next. There's an Aquaman film that will come out later this year that will be the final film of the slate before this new regime took over to make it Warner Brothers DCU. So with that being said, going out to see this film, Flash, it's entertaining. I thought that I enjoyed it. I give it basically a 3 out of 5 stars. The special effects are great in some instances and not so great in others, but the visuals stand out altogether. It's quite colorful, which was kind of missing from the Zack Snyder films, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and even Justice League. The color palette was toned down tremendously, but this film is bright, it's vibrant, and I think that adds to the mood of everything overall. Comic book characters should be colorful, and the events that they cross or where they have to show their powers to do things should be tremendous. And that's what I like about this film, the colorfulness of it. There is a post-credit scene. If you stay through the credits, you'll see it. I won't reveal what it is. And there is another villain that is at the core of everything that transpires. And you have to kind of try to figure things out to find out who this is. They'll tell you subtly, and then there's a word of dialogue that's spoken. But really, if you don't know the Flash and his history, you kind of question what you're looking at. Overall, Flash is a good time at the theater. I didn't have as much of a thrill as I did watching Fast X, but I still enjoyed this film far more than I thought I might. I'm still leery of what's going to happen with the DC slate going forward with all the changes that are coming. But this film, because of Ezra Miller, who is a decent actor, he was able to bring it home. Those are my thoughts. This is Stormybman. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, subscribe, and share. Go see Flash. It's a pretty good DC comic film. Peace to everyone, and everyone remain safe.